Hi, hello, good evening. And salutations, and welcome back to the Headaches and Hot Takes podcast. I'm your host, Chaperian, alongside my co-host, Hearn, a.k.a. the mathematician who calculated that Delfino Plaza has a generous 26% employment rate, a.k.a. the famous McDonald's bun birthmark, a.k.a. the choreographer for the Australian Olympic breakdance team, the Herniator.
That's me. That's me, fam. People are hating on it. I thought it was a good routine.
Dude, I'm sorry to see that your protege did not win gold. I for one, am shocked. Yeah. I
honestly didn't even know that breakdancing was an Olympic event until today.
Well, and now you don't have to know it ever again, because surely to God they're going to cancel it, right? What a disaster.
Yeah. There are some things like that. I honestly need to go now. I need to do like a deep dive and just read every single Olympic event. Because like I said, I had no idea that was one. I'm sure there's others that I'm like, what?
I'm really excited to see flag football come next 4 years from now, I guess. I was going to say next summer, but it's not next summer. It's next summer Olympics.
It'll be 4 years from now, which means obviously he'll age a little bit more. But I'm excited to watch Tyreek Hill absolutely dog on other countries.
That's true.
Break so many ankles, dude.
If you just have like our max speed team, right? Like,
oh god,
it'd be Tyreek. I actually don't know who's. I used to know when I was a kid, like who had like the fastest 40 times, and who was the fastest. I don't know who it would be these days. Jamar Chase has got to be up there. He's probably the second or third fastest receiver in the league. He'd be one of them. What's going to be really fun is seeing all the quarterbacks fight, just for Patrick Mahomes to be the one who gets the nomination, anyways, and be like, what? They're all of them are saying like, Allen has said it, Burrow has said it, Jalen Hurts is on the freaking commercial for it. I think Mahomes has said he'd be interested. I'm like, they're not picking all of you. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
at most two.
This is not NFL Street, okay? Like, they're not just gonna have like weird rosters like that.
Some of the best games,
those
NFL Street games.
God, those are so good. But watching my girl Ray Gun.
Ray Gun.
Ray Gun.
What a freaking name! Yeah.
Do whatever that was. You know, and legitimately, I was pelvic thrust. Woo! Woo! Stop on your right foot. Don't forget it.
Don't forget it.
I was watching her, and I did legitimately think at multiple points, like, yeah, I could do that. I mean, my God, I don't think she did anything I couldn't do, which made me think. You know, by extension of that, the obvious extension of that, I'm like, is there anything else, like, Olympic-wise that, like, you know, I could at least, I might not win gold, like, Ray Gun didn't win gold, but I could do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think?
I'm trying to see right now, what is breaking? It says breaking, not break dancing, but breaking.
No clue, sir.
Oh, that is break dancing. I guess they're trying to be cool and just call it breaking.
Oh, my God. The Australians named that, too?
Archery, artistic gymnastics, artistic swimming, athletics. Yeah, athletics artistic really narrows it down. Badminton, baseball, softball, basketball, 3x3 basketball. This is baseball, softball.
Baseball got removed, as far as I know.
I don't know. It's weird. This is on the list of
I'm not doubting
the Paris site.
Saying.
It's weird. Beach volleyball, boxing, breaking.
Maybe this is the last year with baseball, by the way. Maybe that's
canoe slalom, SLALOM.
What was the first word you said?
Canoe.
You never heard of slalom?
Never heard of slalom.
Like if you're going downhill, they'll have like the path, and there's
we got
flags.
Like bob and weave
in between the flags. That's slalom.
Yeah, that's slalom. Okay. Yeah. Canoe sprint, cricket, cycling BMX freestyle, cycling BMX racing, cycling mountain bike, cycling road, cycling track, diving, equestrian, fencing, flag football. So, yeah, maybe this isn't entirely correct because flag football is not a thing yet, right?
Yeah.
And football, which is saying soccer. Golf, handball. Dude, handball looks so fun.
Handball looks like so much fun, dude.
I want to play handball. I want to play handball so bad.
It looks like fun. Where's my local handball league, dude? Where's it at?
I want to get my hand on some balls. Hockey.
Sir, I've lost one.
Why is hockey in the Summer Olympics?
Are we sure it is?
Is this like street hockey? Okay, this is like street hockey. They're like running around. Okay. Call it something different then.
Where is pickleball? If we can have breakdancing, we can have pickleball. You know what I'm saying?
Not
like
in there yet. It will be. Just saying. Pickleball's taking over. judo, karate, lacrosse, marathon swimming, marathon pentathlon, pentathlon.
Did you see that CrossFit
Rhythmic
swimmer
gymnastics.
die right before the
Died. Right, like, and there's lifeguards sitting there. You're all fired, I hope. Like,
yeah.
what are you
I'm
doing?
laughing. It's not even a little bit funny. Not even a little bit. I'm laughing at your
No.
reaction. You said died. I'm like, yes,
Died.
dude.
Grandma died.
Like,
Dude.
Like, I saw like brief footage of like he's like gasping for air, struggling.
And the lifeguards were just like, hey, they'll come up.
Don't do the Josh Allen. Don't do the Josh Allen Madden screen on me, bro. Like, what are we
Oh
doing?
God, I didn't mean to. I did do that. I didn't mean. Obviously not at all. That was me grabbing my life vest. But yeah, that's all I
Only
did
a few
do.
weeks till your favorite game Madden comes out. By the way.
Yeah, and only a few hours since you last uninstalled college football.
College football. I sure did. Listen,
That
I know I
sucks.
signed it up myself to play on the hardest difficulty they have. It's ridiculous, okay? And I went undefeated just to have it lost because of an interception that,
You said
Would
he
never
jumped
have
from out of bounds.
dude, it's insane. And I go to challenge it, and it said only the review booth is in charge of challenges for this or something like that. It was like the verbatim they used. And it was like a minute and 30 left in the first quarter. So, yeah. So I'm like, what? What do you mean?
What could he possibly be thinking?
I think about that every single time that I fair catch it. I don't know if you know. Every single time I fair catch a kickoff, I think about you. That's
So stupid, dude.
You're like, it's a new rule, idiot. It's in the game. If nothing, like the
The
game knows
did
what
it.
I'm
The
doing.
game did it, but the announcers were still wrong. It's like, my God, dude. I was shocked to see you say, and I trust your opinion because you've played these games for over a decade. I was shocked to see you say that college football is worse than Madden 24.
I prefer Madden 24.
That's
100%.
insane to me.
I've never,
That's insane to me.
like, I don't understand. And we had someone tell us online, right? I believe. I'm just trying to, like, dance around the way that I, like, say this person's, like, relation to us. I guess we'd just say a friend. He's a mutual friend.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Tell us what, brother of treads, little treads. Told us online, he said, well, it's meant to be more arcadey. I get that, to a degree. I always felt like the college games were more arcadey. Here's what I would say to that. And I promise we won't talk long about this because we are going to talk a lot about video games in this episode. If you've clicked on this episode, you are probably expecting video game talk because I'm sure it's somewhere in the title. But,
It's gonna be nowhere in the title.
if the goal was like, oh, this is an arcade-style football game, failed miserably because it's still very simulation-esque, like Madden.
I think maybe saying street is too far arcadey, but that's what I think of when I think of arcade. I think of
agree.
NFL Street.
If a
You're
Blitz-
running on the
if a
walls
Blitz
and
is arcade.
Blitz, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Literally an arcade game. So
That's what I think of arcadey. But again, I don't have much of an opinion to say
Yeah.
because I've kind of.
But I do
from
feel
this
like,
genre.
I will literally say, let's take NCAA 06 and Madden 06, two games I've played. I don't go back to Madden 06 often, but I did play it a decent bit growing up, right? And I will say, like, NCAA 06 compared to Madden 06 was very arcadey, comparatively. Okay, still simulation, but comparatively more arcadey. The players feel faster, the tackling feels more random, it's always higher scoring. It's fun. That's why there are a lot of people who are like, I prefer the college football games. That's probably
Right.
why, dude. Okay.
Makes sense.
If that was the goal, though, with this, I think they fail miserably. I think it is a simulation-style game. That's fine. I enjoy simulation-style games to a degree. I don't want it to be 1,000% realistic, but simulation-style is fun. Okay? So let's get with that out of the way. If that's supposed to be arcadey, I think they failed. So with that said, there are so many things wrong with this game that aren't wrong with Madden. And I'm like, what is the deal? Madden is a buggy mess sometimes. After all of these years of that same engine, as we know they've been on this engine since like Madden 07, right? Or Madden 08, something like that. Since they went to Xbox 360 and PS3, they're on the same engine. I hope everyone is aware of that. We talked about that a little bit. So with that in mind, why in Madden am I able to, like, easily, as is true in real life, kind of bounce off my own guys, right? Like, oh, you're running up the middle. There's a huge hole, huge gap, right? You just got to, like, kind of weave left a little. You're going to bump into your left tackle a little bit. Like, huge hole. Dude, if you graze your own blockers,
Momentum
you're cooked.
gone.
You're cooked,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You're dead. dead.
That's what kills me. Like the there'll be a fumble and like it takes like 3 full seconds for the players to like stop whatever animation they're doing to realize the ball's like a foot behind them. They pull a Cam Newton and they just stand there. Like, what are you doing? Dive on the ball.
Yeah, and I just don't get it, man. There will be holes that are wide open, like on kick returns. And maybe this is due to some weird programming because, as I told you, and it's happened to me week 3 with Texas State, or week 2, it was week 2 with Texas State. I lost on a kick return touchdown in the game as time expired. It was a problem early in the game, or it is a problem, I should say, of like, kick returns frequently go for touchdowns way too often, okay? Well, I think they did try to nerf it to a degree, and I'll be running back a kick return, and I'm like, I'm good all day. And I will run into 10,000 people. Also, I'm glad you did the little Flint Lockwood, because it doesn't matter who I'm playing against. It could be...
somebody's faster.
Fresno State. It could be Baylor, who just made me uninstall the game. Like Ohio State and Oregon, okay. Fine. Be faster than me, okay? Don't care. Fresno State? Every player on the defense is faster than both of my halfbacks? One of my halfbacks is a cover athlete. I'm playing as Michigan. One of my halfbacks is on the cover. What do you mean he's getting caught every single time? I will run the perfect run, right? And I like to motion my receivers and sometimes my lead blockers. Sometimes both. I'll move one and he'll stand still, and then I'll motion my receiver and whatever, right? And know that, like, bro, I'm about to torch these guys, right? Like, they're in a terrible defense. They stack the box. I'm doing an outside handoff. Like, you're cooked, bro. I'm taking this to the house. And I will have 10 yards between me and the nearest defender, and they will close it out. I'm like, oh my God, it's the first quarter. What do you mean I can't get a breakaway touchdown, dude? And then, of course, meanwhile, the reason I uninstalled is because for the second consecutive game, as time is winding down, a huge 80-plus yard deep bomb was completed on me in cover 3. And I spread my defense out. Like, spread being like you can either pinch them, make everybody like press on the corners and move your D-line in, or spread and everybody goes back and your off D-line like spreads out as well. It just helps you have more space, for that exact thing. And they beat my corner and my free safety. 1-on-2, he torched him. And I did it to myself playing on the hardest difficulty, I understand. But that's a bit ridiculous. So I uninstalled. So that's it. I'm done.
There you go. That sucks. EA hater, I hate EA.
I think EA sucks. What are your thoughts, sir? Anything you want to add on, or you want to just get right to our main event of the night? Which way? That's kind of a perfect intro to.
Yeah, I think it's a great intro, pal. What are we talking about again?
You talk about it. I just talked for so long. You said like 4 words this whole podcast because I won't shut up. You talk.
We are doing a Keep 5, Cut 5, and the genre is video game franchises. Shocking. This is an infinite thing. There's so many topics we could do.
1,000 Keep 5, Cut 5s of video game franchises if we wanted.
Yeah, honestly. We have a list here. I'll list them off. If you're listening, keep up.
Yes.
What we got 10 genres. We got 10 franchises rather. And first off, the disclaimer, because Mario is so huge, we split Mario up into like multiple quote unquote franchises.
Yes.
So we have 2D Mario games. We have 3D Mario games. Mario Karts, the Mario Parties. It's all the Marios. Pokemon. We grouped Mortal Kombat and Injustice together. I don't think we're gonna include like every fighting game ever, like Street Fighter Marvel vs. Capcom. I think Mortal Kombat and Injustice are literally made by the same people.
They are.
We said they're similar enough.
A lot of the same characters.
Call of Duty,
like Scorpion's always in Injustice. So.
Right. Call of Duty. Again, we grouped Madden and college football, or NCAA, whatever you want to call it. We grouped those two together. Minecraft and Zelda. I think that's all right.
That is all 10, sir.
So
Stack deck.
Keep 5. Cut 5. Easy. It is not. Now, I think what you said you wanted to do, if I heard you and understood you correctly, was you just want to go through the list and we'll talk about each game for a little bit, and then we'll say whether we individually are going to keep or cut it.
Yeah.
Right? So
we don't have to make that full decision as we're going. Like, I figure we can go literally top to bottom. We top all the Marios at once. I don't think we spread the Marios out, right? I don't think we have to make a decision on 2D Mario, which is going to be the first thing we talk about, and say, well, I'm keeping it. And then we get to the 10th thing, and I'm like, I'd like to get rid of 2D Mario. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Only say what you feel like saying. If you feel like saying, there's no way this doesn't make my top 5, say it.
What you want to say.
But we don't have to we can lock in our 5 we're keeping after we've gone through all 10 franchises, if that's okay with you, sir.
Okay. That's fair. With that being said, at the top of the list is 2D Mario, pal, as my wallpaper so gloriously shows tonight. And you got a what there?
Super Mario 3
nice.
coaster.
It looks like the cartridge. That's
isn't that so freaking cool, dude?
That's cool.
I have a bunch of games for them. They came in like one stack. There's Mario 1, 2, 3, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Metroid. I think that's it. Maybe another random one in there, but it's cool.
That's cool. I literally today I was playing my Nintendo DS.
Ooh, what are you playing?
I was playing Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, one of my favorite Mario and Luigi games.
Oh man, what a game!
Good, so good. I love the Mario and Luigi games, but that's by far my favorite.
Have you played Superstar Saga? Scott,
there's a couple that I get confused. Bro. Like there's that one with like time in it, right? Isn't like Across Time or whatever it's called?
Yeah, that's called like Brothers in Time or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've played that
Superstar Saga
one.
was the first Mario Luigi game on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, I assume I've played it. I don't think I owned it, but I think I've played almost all of them to some degree.
It's on the Switch Online. It's still one of the best games with Mario's name on it. Period. Like that's great. Critically speaking, that is. It got Game of the Year, Scott. It was on the Game Boy Advance. IGN gave it Game of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. It was on the Game Boy Advance.
When did that come out? You remember?
2005 or 2006, one of the two. I want to say 05. Okay.
But I was like, you know what? I really want to have more retro games. I would love it if eventually, I mean, God, it would cost literally thousands of dollars. It would take a long time. But you see those like pictures on Pinterest or whatever where like somebody has like their game room and they have like all the consoles, Ataris and Nintendos or whatever, and can play whatever they want. Oh.
By the way, I have a grief with one of those. If you're going to do that and you care enough to do it, or you don't really care enough but you have stupid money, and so you're just like, you snap your fingers and it gets done for you. Either situation. You either have FU money or you really care, okay?
Okay.
Make sure the setup to actually play the games is good. Sometimes I will see like setups and you're looking and that was like 1.5 second input delay. Oh, I can look at this. You pull it out and there's the NES, the Super Nintendo, the N64, and the GameCube all right there. And all I do is push the power button and all of them are ready to go. Yeah, because of that, you're losing so much of like reaction time. Your input delay is disgusting.
Right.
And like sometimes they'll have like the 4 TVs put together. Like one TV doesn't update as quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh. If you're gonna care that much, A, or B, have FU money, and you don't really care, but you're like, oh, I thought this would be cool, so I paid someone more capable than me to put this together and give me a bunch of retro games. In either of those circumstances, unacceptable. But I've seen it happen at least 2 times where they will have a godly gaming room, and the actual setup to play the games is terrible.
Yeah.
My setup
you gotta do it right.
Is good. Like, my setup is better than yours, is what I'm trying to say. In my living room. Right now. And I do not have, a 10 grand gaming room. What is your excuse?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. I like you just, I agree entirely. Either spend the money if you're going to spend the money or actually care enough to do it right. So, all that to say, eventually I would like to have more like a retro collection. I think it'd be fun. So with that being said, I'm just going to tool right into it with 2D Mario being right on the top of our list. Dude, 2D Mario... Oh, some of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah,
is right there. I mean, is there a bad 2D Mario game? There's definitely ones that I will almost never play again. Like that's fine. That is what it is.
Maybe a couple on the DS.
My gosh.
Maybe those are bad.
Yeah,
that'd be it.
Dude, I got a semi hot take, I guess. Okay. I thought Wonder was great. I beat it. I have not launched it since. I will not replay that game. I will not play it again.
I don't think it's replayable at all.
Yeah, and I kind of hate that because I'm like, it was so different. It was so good. I thought that we talked about it before, like the final bosses or whatever. You don't want to one shot. I one shot that final boss with ease. I was like, that was way too easy.
So I actually
thought the final boss
Wonder,
was so easy.
For what it's worth. It's one of the games where like Kat and I have started playing it, and so we're playing it together. Mm-hmm. And same with Super Mario 3D World, which, by the way, is that a 2D Mario or a 3D Mario? It has 3D in the title, but it plays like a 2D.
I would call that 3D because I think it's more like Galaxy than it is like,
Yeah, it's just different because you do have to go to the end of the course and grab the flagpole still, which is...
Yeah.
That's the weird
part. I would call it 3D.
Okay. Well, that one came out after like years of me wanting to play it because I didn't have a Wii U and I had a Switch and I was completing my backlog, I should say, and it was like the last mainline Mario game I have not beaten. It is still, alongside Wonder now, the only mainline Mario game I've not beaten, except for, I should say, New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS, which I'm not dying to play. The review's terrible. So, the issue that I was getting at with this is like, we can never get on the same page with how many levels we want to play. She will be super excited to play it, and then like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I'm good. I'm done, bro. And then vice versa happens too. And then I'm like, what do you mean you're done? Like, what are you going on? And that happened with Wonder too. And so like, we're just like, eh. Like we played New Super Mario Bros. U on the Switch. Mm-hmm. And New Super Luigi U, which was bundled in with it. And like, we binged the heck out of that game. We could not do it with 3D World. My wife's depth perception is not the greatest. She will tell you this herself. With Wonder, I don't know what it was. Like, we got like over halfway through, but it wasn't like really holding my attention anymore. And I think like, I don't know.
It got kind of repetitive. I think yes, it got repetitive.
It did.
And the final boss is the atmosphere is really cool. It's like a lot of things in the game where like there's a lot of music involved, so like music cues and stuff. But it's easy. It's an easy final boss. And I was like, that kind of bored me almost. So yeah, I don't know. All that to say, I don't think Wonder is as good as a lot of people think it is.
Sure.
That's all I got to say on 2D games. You got any more for 2D?
No, I mean, we're really beating a dead horse, and we are really doing the like well-known Nintendo like YouTube video thing of like, did you know 2D Mario games are really good and important games? Gee, I had no clue. Like, I thought this was the Krusty Krab. I don't know. That's not a reference or anything. I don't know why I just thought to say that. But like, yeah, dude, they're so important. They're so great. The trio, the trilogy, I guess you could say, on the NES are still just great games that all three hold up. 2, I think, holds up not as well as 1 or 3 for the obvious reason of it was a reskin of another game. Wasn't meant to be a Mario game. But it's still so fun and different. And so, like, I don't know what you can say about 2D Mario that hasn't already been said. All of which is to say, I really struggle to see 5 game franchises here that I'd rather say. Because as we like to do, like, what's the scope for this? What's the frame of mind? This is for forever. I'm not playing any of these other 5 again. I'm playing these 5 instead. Mm-hmm. For the rest of my life. I don't think I could say that about 5 other franchises over 2D Mario. I just could not. So
yeah. How about 3D Mario? Which is going to include 64, Sunshine, the Galaxies. I would say 3D World. Are the RPG games?
I don't think they made the list. I was thinking about them. Mario and Luigi definitely don't make the list. They're not in these at all, unfortunately, because we did specify Mario Kart and Mario Party. Like,
wait,
the RPGs
so you wouldn't count
Paper Mario.
Okay, that's fine. 3D Mario. I mean, in that category, you're gonna have 2 of, in my opinion, the best Mario games out there, which is Galaxy 1 and 2.
You are a whore for some Super Mario Galaxy, bro. Dude, it is wild.
They're so good. The soundtracks alone are fantastic. I think that this the epicness, the scale of them. They did. I mean, obviously, so many things different. I thought like they were fantastic. Oh, Odyssey's gonna be in 3D.
Yep.
Odyssey makes 3D. I think Odyssey might be my favorite 3D.
Yeah. Wow. Over Sunshine.
Honestly, I hate Sunshine. Sunshine sucks. It is. I played Sunshine to say I beat it. Now, like the themes in Sunshine, and we get introduced to Bowser Jr. / Shadow Mario, 2 of my favorite characters. Like, I think it's cool. Whatever. I do like Sunshine. As a game, it sucks.
Wow.
It's a bad game.
Sucks straight up. Dude.
It plays
it's
terrible.
Super hard and clunky.
It plays terrible.
It's hard because of the.
You ever having a good day? You ever having a good day? Go play some of the Sunshine levels, specifically the ones where you don't have flood, and you're in like the little.
And
like,
the physics
boxes.
are god awful in some of those.
They're terrible.
And it's like, what are these physics?
I remember watching you stream doing those, and I was like, okay, he's gonna die. Here we go, because everybody does. You die.
There were a couple of, and like it's the acapella music too. It's like, do like what? That's how they're going, right? And I'm over here like raging, losing my mind.
I'm a chuckster. He just launches you into the abyss,
dude.
You don't know.
And there's like you have like basically no control.
No. The first time you walk up to him, you think you're talking to another NPC.
He goes, I'm a chuckster.
I'm a chuckster. And he just launches you 35 yards behind him in whatever direction you have.
And you have to do it like 8 times to beat the level. Yeah. And there's a point. What were we gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say it's just so precise.
There's a point where there are multiple chucksters on the same platform, both headed towards the same way, and you have to just know which one is the right one, because like one will send you flying, and there's no way to do anything about it, and the other one will do just right. And then I think there was another circumstance where one is like, oh, he barely throws you at all, but you do slide off the edge. The other one throws you just right, and it's like, okay, what were they thinking? And like. People are like, oh, it's just really precise. It's all about like exactly how you're lined up. My brother in Christ, it's like 16 directional. It's not like 360 per se. Like it's not. You might be able to move your stick 360. You're not really 360. I think it's 16 directional. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I think it is. So like, what were we thinking here? The way you're facing when you walk up and you square like you full balloony this guy, right? Like you are balloony.
Balloony.
Like, right in his face. Balloony. You are lined up and this guy throws you at a 45-degree angle. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not even hating on Sunshine. That level does suck major balls though. Oh my god, it's so hard.
Big balls.
And then there's ones like the Watermelon Festival. I know you know the Watermelon Festival, right? Beat it first try. Live on stream. Beat it first try. No problem at all. Yeah. And I grabbed the wrong watermelon at first. I got it all the way down, got it over, and I was like, haha, suckers, I beat the Watermelon Festival. And everybody said that it was going to ruin my game, and this is one of the nightmare levels. And like, this is not the big enough watermelon. Sorry, you have to go get another one. I was like,
wrong.
Oh. And then I went and got it first try. And everyone in chat was like, why didn't your watermelon break? Why didn't your watermelon break at all? What is going on? I'm like, they could break? Because I didn't know. I had no clue.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. I don't know how, bro. I lucked out. But then there was one Yoshi level, I remember, where like, I tried to see afterwards because I was being self-conscious. I was like, did anybody else like online like put on a message board somewhere like, I struggled really hard with this level. I think it was just me, dude. Like, and I was taking like a super weird path that like once I had my mind made up, like I could make that path. I was trying it and I could not do it. But I also didn't realize like I was missing something too. I can't remember what it was. But Sunshine is a crazy game. I'm going to pivot now before we waste too much time. We have 8 other franchises to get through and say that there's a game that defines to this day the 3D Mario franchise of games, which is the first one, Super Mario 64. And I have a bit of a hot take on this episode of Headaches and Hot Takes, sir. That with 8 franchises to go, I can pretty safely say, not looking anything in, we could back it out obviously, that Super Mario 64 alone to me, it was in my, I think, 3 games or 5 games where we take on Desert Island, right?
It was.
Super Mario 64 alone is enough to carry this franchise and me say, like, I take it probably over most of these other ones here. Super Mario 64 would probably be my keep 5 just on its own. And then I get the rest of the 3D games. It's going to be tough to beat it, dude. It's going to be really tough to beat.
Yep. I agree. Literally yesterday. It's funny you said that.
Okay.
Well, just randomly, my wife and I do it. But then now with my daughter as well, I'll just put it on Ryu Car, and he plays Mario. And we'll sit there and watch whatever.
I was watching him today, bro.
Yeah, all the colors. Like my daughter likes watching it, whatever. I was like, well, let's see if she likes other like a Mario playthrough or whatever. So on my recommended, it was a 64 playthrough, no commentary, just playing.
Who was
the game.
it? Oh, no commentary.
I don't know. It was really weird. Like it was reskinned in a way I've never seen before. It honestly looked overall bad. I didn't like the reskin of it, but no commentary, just the game, whatever. And for some reason, I have a video of it. Every time they jump into the painting and it goes ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
Every time I did that, my daughter cracked up. She thought that was hilarious. So then, like, she became, like, she got aware of, like, when he jumps in the painting, like, get ready. It's like she'd be sitting there eating or whatever, and, like, the noise it would make, and she'd, like, look up, ba 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 ba. She'd crack up. That was hilarious.
That's so
this is great. I was like, this is great. I love Mario watching, buddy.
Kat is going to melt when she hears that, when she listens to this week's episode.
It was so funny.
Because I'm melting right now listening to it. That's so great. That's so
I don't know why,
funny.
But it's funny. So, yeah. That was hilarious. He's like, that's okay. But,
I guess.
Yeah, 64 is great. Next.
Okay. I'll take this one to start. Mario Kart. Like I said, we're knocking out all the Mario franchises. First, this is the third of 4 that we have on our list, so Mario Kart. I am on the record on this here podcast as saying, I think there's a very real argument. Not an argument I made myself. I'm just playing devil's advocate. And saying, I think there's a real argument to be made that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe might be the best Nintendo game of all time. It is. It might be, dude. It's a game everybody can pick up and play. You can play it competitively if you want. It never gets old. It's a fun party game. It's the best-selling game for what is going to be the best-selling console of all time. And it's not going to get dethroned as the best-selling Switch game, by the way. It was like 2 years into the Switch's lifetime, and like over 75% of Switch owners owned the game. It's such a good game. And again, like with me saying this about Mario 64, that's just one game. My real hot take here is when I shift off of that game. I have played and beaten, and when I say beaten, I mean won the hardest cup in the game, if nothing else, because there's weirder stipulations in the older games where it's really not specific as to what is considered beating the game. You can kind of just do whatever whenever you want, so I'm kind of making it up myself. Right. Yeah. So I have beaten, not just played, beaten Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, Mario Kart 64. I've only played Double Dash. I've not beaten Wii either. I've beaten DS. And then I guess it jumps all the way up to 8. That's not 8 games. Oh, Super Circuit. I beat Super Circuit on the Game Boy Advance. That one sucks. That game's terrible. Which is kind of what I'm getting at here. I'm here to tell you, it's a recent, like, glow up for me. Recent being, like, Wii. I've not played much Double Dash, but I think I would love it if I did own it. I had a friend that had it growing up, but it was one of those things where, like, you ever go to a friend's house and they have a game and they're like, this is the best game ever, we gotta play it. And then you're like, I don't know the controls, and you're not really doing a good job teaching me the controls, and, like, you're just in first place and I'm in last place, and you're not really doing anything to help. Yeah, and you're just like, haha, yeah, this is the best. And I'm like, no, this is not fun. What are we doing? That was Double Dash for me. I eventually got better than that, but I think my first couple times playing it, that's what it was like. All of this to say, the first 2 Mario Kart games, I definitively think are not fun. I'll go on the record. Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, not fun. It's not a fun game. I don't like it. Mario Kart 64, this is the really hot one. I don't think it's that fun either, bro. Like, it was the first 3D Mario Kart game. 3D's being generous. There are 3D graphics, but they're pre-rendered 2D sprites on 3D models. It's not really 3D like Double Dash is. It controls awful. Mm-hmm. Some of the tracks are so sluggish. Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 64, Rainbow Road being the definitive track for any Mario Kart game, is the longest track of all time, to the point that in Mario Kart 8, you just do one freaking lap. One lap. One. And the AI is frustrating, especially on the harder difficulties, which if you've been listening to this episode, you know. I like the harder difficulties, but I don't like it when the AI cheats. and whatnot. So Mario Kart, I don't know, dude. I think like Mario Kart 8 is going to do a lot of heavy lifting. I don't know how Mario Kart's going to go for me. What do you have to say about it?
That I kind of feel the same. Like, it may sound contradictory to say this, but I think a lot of the Mario Karts are like, especially once you've played Wii 8 Deluxe, some of the newer ones, like, they're the best ones by far. They have all the best things of the past ones. So like, once you play at most those two, I don't see Double Dash is different enough that maybe you go play Double Dash, but I can't remember last time I played anything but Wii or 8. Like, it's so
yeah. And I do think like 8 is super replayable. Matter of fact, like, sure. I can see myself playing next week now that I'm thinking about it. But the rest of the franchise, like, they're fun. They're fun in a group setting. I don't know. Like, a lot of them aren't as good as people act like they are, especially the old ones.
Yeah. That's where I land, buddy. And that's honestly, I'm going to segue because it almost goes the same thing for me into our last Mario franchise, which is the Mario parties.
Ooh, okay.
I know there are, I mean, my God, what are there? Double digit.
I don't even want to guess. It is guaranteed. Definitely in double digits because we were on 8 on the Wii. So do it that way.
Yeah. So a lot of games that I admittedly have played maybe 4 of, maybe 5 at most. So I couldn't sit here and tell you like, oh, these ones are bad and these ones are good, whatever. I can just tell you what I've played. Because again, I feel like if you play, they do the same thing with the Mario Karts. A lot of the new Mario Karts have a lot of throwback tracks that were in these games. Mario Parties. A lot of the new Mario Parties have a lot of mini games or whatever modes that were in these old games. So if you play 3 of the most modern ones, you probably play 7 of the original ones.
Sure.
So again, like, Mario Party's fun. I think it's a fun. They do have a lot of different modes now where, like, you can kind of play by yourself. You don't have to have people. You can play online now, which is fun, whatever. But
my sister was in last week, and I have to listen to the podcast, okay? So she's going to love that I'm saying this because I told her straight to her face what I'm about to tell you. She was like, so she was in, her husband was gone the one night. He drove up from Cincy to Cleveland for WWE SummerSlam. My wife was gone the same night for like 3.5 hours babysitting. So it's just my sister and I at home, whatever. And she, at one point the night before, was like, oh, we could play Mario Party tomorrow night. And I was like, it's just going to be the 2 of us. She said, so? And I said, that is the, like, I don't remember the exact quote. I basically told her, that is the biggest loser talk I've ever seen in my life. I'm not playing Mario Party with 2 people. I'm not. I'm like, I'm not playing with computers. She's like, computers? Like, just play with computers. It's not that bad. I'm like, I'm not playing with computers. That's a major downside of the franchise if you're by yourself. You need 4 people, bro. You need 4 people to have the full experience.
To get the full experience, I agree. I will, like, me and my wife frequently, I don't want to say we're frequently, but me and my wife have several times we play Mario Party with just the 2 of us against computers. And I get frustrated whenever they cheat. And
they do cheat because they know what they're doing.
They cheat so bad.
You know,
they cheat so bad. It's so obvious.
It's interesting. But I think in terms of, you know, the episode and Keep 5, Cut 5, we're talking 5 franchises. I'd rather take over the other 5 franchises for the rest of my life, and I'll never play the other 5 again. I think a game that is only at 60 to 70% of its enjoyment factor, unless I'm in a group of 4, is going to really struggle. Yeah. Similarly to Mario Kart, I'm in the same boat as you in that, like, not really the same boat. I think old Mario Party is still fantastic. I think the framework that they had in the old Mario Party that they've then brought back in the most recent Mario Party on the Switch is the ideal Mario Party scenario, okay?
Okay.
And, you know, similarly, I'll say I've played, there's no beating Mario Party, right? But I've played at least a full game on 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, Super Mario Party on the Switch, and Mario Party Superstars. So I've played well over half the franchise. Definitely all of the important games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said something very important, which is you've played one, you've really played them all. Now, there are some weird ones that like went off the rails and they broke the formula and the fans hate them.
Right.
Notice I haven't played any of those. I didn't say any of those ones. Don't ask me. I just don't know if they're going to be able to hold up on this list. I love Mario Party. Mm-hmm. Some of my favorite gaming experiences are playing Mario Party when it goes well. When it doesn't go well, it's a bad time. And you're screaming at each other. So, we'll see how it holds up. But I think right now, it's going to have a hard time as this list goes on and we look back on 10 juggernaut franchises of games.
Indeed. Speaking to that, buddy, because we know
what's going to happen here.
About this next one. I have very little to say about this next one. So I'm going to Pokemon. I have actually played, I think, 2 games. I haven't beaten one of them. I know it's like a staple. I'm not hating on it at all. It's not necessarily, I didn't play it growing up, so I don't have the nostalgia factor for it. So it's just never been like one of my go-to things. So I will acknowledge it as greatest selling media franchise of all time.
Yes! You listen to me talk. Thank you.
It's not one of my favorites, but I'm not hating on it. With that said, you go ahead.
I'm going to keep it brief, bro. I could talk about Pokemon all day. You know this. It's like 2/3 of what you can see behind me, to be honest with you. I love Pokemon. I'm going to love it till I die. Gun to my head, name your like favorite IP, intellectual property. That's what that stands for if you don't know. Pokemon might be my answer, bro. It might be. And unlike Mario, we have a world of games included in the umbrella of Pokemon. Yeah. We're not just talking go get the gym badges and beat the Elite Four. We're talking Pokemon Ranger. We're talking Pokemon Pinball. We're talking Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. We're talking Pokemon Go, which I'm still heavy into again, right? Yeah. I mean, God, man. We've got... There's a Pokemon MOBA now, made by the people who make League of Legends.
We already know Pokemon's going to be on there for you, so we can just... We're going to wrap this up.
We can wrap this one up. I think that's a fair thing to say. Like I said, I was brief. I've been brief.
Yeah, for sure. People, the moment people heard that list, they're like, "Oh yeah, Chaperian."
You know what I said about 2D Mario? But like, what can I say that's not beating a dead horse? That horse has been devoured by the buzzards and has flies all over it for Pokemon. So
yeah, true.
Yeah,
a great franchise.
We can move on.
A random one to some people. We grouped Mortal Kombat and Injustice together because again, they're made by the same people.
Was it on our template list? I'll cut you off to ask. Was Mortal Kombat on the template list? Because we kept like half of a list we saw. We divided up Mario. And then like took off some stinkers that we knew wouldn't be on our 5 and put in some other ones that might.
Yeah. I think Mortal Kombat was specifically.
I think it was too.
I think I grouped it with Injustice. I don't know. I know you've played Injustice. I don't know if you've played any of the semi-recent Mortal Kombats, but I know you've played.
I played one. I haven't played the last 2 though, because I think.
Okay.
No, I haven't played 1. I played X. I played MKX. I have not played 8 or 1. I think we're the next 2.
Yeah. That being said, pal, Mortal Kombat and Injustice.
God bless it.
You didn't mute. You didn't mute. Now you're muted, pal. Are you aware? You're aware that you did this backwards? This is all staying in. This is all staying in. Get your coughs out. Everybody, I'm going to make him big screen right now. And everybody can watch him die. There you go.
God, that is bad. Yes, I did do it backwards on accident.
You
Keep
good?
going. Whore.
Okay, that was funny.
I'm literally going to give you something to drink, bro. Holy crap.
Well, go ahead and I'll talk on Mortal Kombat and Injustice for 30 seconds. You're gone. Okay. Mortal Kombat was I haven't played any like the Street Fighters, the Marvel vs. Capcoms. I haven't played those, so I'm not hating on them, but also I'm not going to show them any love either. But Mortal Kombat I played and I liked it a lot. I like specifically how Mortal Kombat does a lot of cameos with like the fighter packs. MKX, they had like the horror movie quad pack come out. I had Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, Alien, and the Predator as well. That's a fantastic. Just that pack alone, as somebody who likes those franchises, that was fun. And it's fun to sit there and fight as these creatures or whatever. The story's okay. I don't really go for the story. The story of Injustice is fantastic. If you have not, I don't know how closely the video game is. The video game Injustice, did that come directly from the comic line? Do you know? I don't know.
Oh, not even close. Not even a little bit. No, it was an original story, which is part of the appeal, in my opinion.
Okay, yes. That's what I was getting at. Was the story of Mortal Kombat, I've never whoa, but Injustice's storyline, specifically the first one, I thought was fantastic. I thought it was really good.
The first one, I think they did make a comic of it, but if it's just a one-to-one of the video games, I'm I've already seen this. I would kill for a 10-episode,
Yes.
I guess it would be HBO because it'd be Warner Brothers, series, dude. Oh my God.
Injustice is great.
The story's so good. Such an interesting concept.
It's so good. And I do think it's fun. I think I've said it before. In fighting games specifically, my strategy has always been I might like Scorpion, and I play as Scorpion, and everybody plays as Scorpion. But I seek out people. I mastered Zod in Injustice.
Ooh.
I was and Lobo. Zod and Lobo were two of my go-tos in Injustice. Nobody played them. Nobody played him. I was they don't know how to counter him then, because nobody plays these people.
Yeah.
So if you get decent with Lobo, nobody knows how to counter him. It was
Zod
great.
was such a prick. He fought with one arm. He only fought with the one arm. He like this, and he just did the one arm.
Yeah,
he's Darth Vader.
Darkseid does that too, and
he does.
Second Injustice, he just got the one hand the whole time.
Yep.
He literally has the hand behind his back the entire time.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I've
spoken on this now for
to listen
3 minutes. You go.
See what you said this week when I listened to the podcast. Because I don't know.
I just really dogged on you the whole time you were gone.
You might have sold me. I put it in my top 5, and I'll never know now. All that said, I like Mortal Kombat. I'm realizing some stuff about myself throughout this episode, man. Or my thoughts on these franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the old ones for getting us to where we are today. Old Mortal Kombat makes me want to kill myself. It's not a fun time. It's not fun.
It's not.
Have you tried it? Nothing's worse than you're on a joystick and it's back, forward, down, back, forward, up, and then one of the two punch kick buttons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're ah! And you know it. You know you did the thing, right? And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And that is my entire experience playing any fighting game, any tournament-style fighting game on a freaking joystick. Street Fighter, especially Street Fighter 2. First of all, if you've ever watched Street Fighter 2 on a competitive level, get a life. All of you, get a life. Just like if you play Super Smash Bros. Melee, get a freaking life. All of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Oh, I wave dash. Wave dashing is breaking the game. Wave dashing is a glitch. I'm getting off track. That's a Melee conversation. If you play people who really know what they're doing in these games and who have mastered even the little quirks of sometimes, it takes it if you go really hard to this way, but sometimes it's I don't know, inconsistencies that are really frustrating to me as the casual player. They are full of them in these old tournament-style fighting games. They're full of those bugs.
Yeah.
The modern ones, really good, dude. Like I said, one of my proudest, I said this months ago, one of my proudest gaming achievements ever in my entire life was going double flawless in an online game of Mortal Kombat. And I want to say I was Scorpion. I don't think I was Ermac. I think I was Scorpion. Maybe I was Ermac. I can't really remember. I don't ever forget that. Because, the dude was trying, the dude was doing things. It's not like he was just AFK. But it was
right.
Oh my God, I just went double flawless online, right?
That's
that
nice.
dude probably was having a miserable time. Imagine that on Street Fighter 2 in an arcade back in the day. You paid $1 to go get whooped by this guy. All because your combos that you're inputting perfectly, your Shoryuken, I'm not taking it.
Shoryuken!
Nothing, and you look so dumb, too. Because you was sitting there and it's but he doesn't do it. He just goes and nothing comes out. And you're dude. And meanwhile, they're doing everything they need to do. And it's so bad.
and nothing comes out.
And then you finally you hit it, right? Finally, oh, no kidding. And they go, block. And you're like, God dang it.
We're just randomly shouting stuff from those games. It's great.
All of this to say, these are fun games. Just mostly the recent ones. So.
And then you got the people who spam, like...
One move,
One of the annoying roommates I had in college, I've spoken of many times. I had Injustice. I'm playing Injustice. They come over. I'm going to beat you.
What character?
I'm going to beat you. I'm like, you're not. Green arrow, spamming the arrows. That's all he did. Crouch in the corners. Ping, boom, ping, boom. And on that specific game, because I beat him, and I beat him this way. And then, I beat him with my character. Then he said, let me pick your character. And I think I beat him with,
That's random. To say.
Oh, God. Who did I beat him with? It was somebody terrible, but I beat him with that character.
Sinestro?
It might have been Luthor, actually.
Luthor was the worst character in the game, literally. Yeah.
But then he said, play me one-handed. I beat him one-handed with my right hand. Then he said, play me one-handed, left-handed. And I think that was the game. I think that was the game that he used Green Arrow, and he did beat me. Because one-handed, left-handed, I could not, get over the arrow spam.
No.
It's like, okay. But
real achievement, bro. My God.
Congrats. All that to say.
Remind me, you said Lobo and Zod were your mains in Injustice. What about Injustice 2? Did it change?
Injustice 2. Let me look up the roster real quick because I can't remember
it
specifically. Injustice roster.
My Injustice 1 mains were Batgirl was my number 1. Definitely a weird one, I guess. She was a DLC character. Batgirl was my number 1. Flash was my number 2. I can't remember who I would have said was my number 3. In Injustice 2, I'll just be straight up with you, bro. I didn't play nearly as much as 1. I sucked with anybody except Wonder Woman on that game. I could kick some butt with Wonder Woman. I was terrible with everybody else. They all felt so different from the first game.
Upon looking at it, I think my mains were Zod, Lobo, and I knew a decent amount with Bane in Injustice.
I hated Bane.
Doomsday as well. Oh, Batman. My Batman in 1 and 2, dude. I'll take on anybody.
I can play him a little bit in 2 as well.
My Batman, I tweeted a picture of it back when I was actively playing Injustice 2. Mm-hmm. In Injustice 2, it was Batman, Flash, and Blue Beetle were my 3.
Blue Beetle was in the second one. Yeah.
Blue Beetle was fun. Yeah. They were great.
Yeah. Flash is always a blast to play as. So we couldn't not include Injustice in the conversation, by the way, because it's the exact same style of game, just with different characters and different, nuances, but generally the same game made by the same company. So I'm glad we were on the same page. You're like, no, we got to include Injustice. So it has a shot, of making my top 5. Does it have a shot of making yours?
It has a shot because, like you said, we're saying you have these 5 for life. So I'm not going to pick 4 Mario franchises and then not have anything different. So, yeah.
I might, but we'll see. I don't know. Speaking of not having anything different, the next franchise we are here to talk about is Call of Duty. And I introed it, but I actually want you to take this away because I have not really played a Call of Duty at all. I played some Black Ops 4. That's it. That's the most recent one I've played, dude. I haven't played it in ages.
Okay. I do like Call of Duty. I've played several of them. I definitely have. I have Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which I think came out in 2018, 2019.
Well, I played that one. That's the one. Not, that one.
That's the one I play the most still. I technically bought Modern Warfare 2. It sucked. I don't play it anymore. I couldn't even tell you what all's been in between here and there or whatever. There's been a few, obviously, at this point. To anybody who is trying to think right now, oh, he hates on Madden because they're the same, but he plays Call of Duty, I just told you. I haven't bought a Call of Duty in 5 years because I admit they're the same. I admit the past 5 have sucked. As far as, it's the same game. It's a reskin of the game. Y'all just can't accept that. That Madden is a reskin. You're paying $60 for a roster update, even though literally everybody tells you that. I do have hope for Black Ops 6. That's what's coming out this year. Apparently, it's been in development for 4 years.
Black Ops 6.
6.
Did I miss 5?
So there was I think they're technically saying Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was 5, or it filled a slot somewhere.
Okay.
So yeah, this is gonna be Black Ops 6 apparently. Apparently it's been in development for 4 years. That gives me hope. I probably will get it almost solely because I have had a Call of Duty in like 5 years, so the one I'm playing is at this point very old. So I might just get it, just be like, oh, let's see what it is. But all that to say, am I going to pick it as this genre is good enough to carry me and that I want it to be one of my 5 for life? I don't know. Like, yeah, they have the campaigns. Zombies is great.
You do get every new game
at
they
times.
come out with, I guess.
Yeah. Zombies is great, I guess. At times, Zombies is great. At times, it's absolutely terrible. I don't know.
For what it's worth, and I don't think you're going to do this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm mentioning, like, you have it for life, and that helps us make our decision, but, like, I don't want to lean too much into the, like, cheese of, like, I get a new game every year if I pick Madden and Call of Duty. I'm going to get 2 new games every year.
Yeah, I don't either.
Don't really think of it. Like, don't make that be the baseline for your decision, but you know what I'm saying when I say
I never thought of that.
5 for life, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good clarification. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have a lot to say on Call of Duty. I was, honestly, pretty good at it. I was decent at Call of Duty compared to some of these other games, but I do tend to, like, try to min-max games. I'm not here trying to be a sweat with most of these games. But, like, you know, when I'm playing Fortnite heavily, I can be decent. Then I stop playing for 2 weeks and I'm terrible. When I was playing Call of Duty daily, I was better at Call of Duty than I've ever been at Fortnite. So, like, I was decent at Call of Duty throughout a lot of that golden period. Probably right after the golden period is when I played it the most. Because they were already on Black Ops 2 before I gave it any shot at all, really.
Okay.
But that being said, this is the first one that I'm going to tell you does not have a prayer of making my top 5. Not one bit.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yep.
That's fair. That being said, let's move on to one that doesn't have a prayer of making my top 5, which is...
I think EA sucks.
I think EA sucks. And, yeah, I'm sure the old Madden and NCAAs are great. That's fine.
That's the thing right there.
Didn't play them. I did not play them. I have no nostalgia for them. I have no opinion on them. So I can tell you, gun to my head, play Madden or die. Kill me.
Have you been sitting on that one for the entire year of this podcast? Where has that line been? What a freaking clip that's going to make. Every single time when I get Madden, because I'm not going to pay for Madden this year, but the same person, shared college football with me, has the early access to Madden. So I'll play it for free. But I was not going to buy it this year. I think I told you I was not buying it again this year.
Yeah.
So when I run into bugs in Madden in a few weeks,
which you will.
Just know I'm going to tweet the bad thing that happened. And then gun to my head, play Madden or die. Just kill me.
Just pull the trigger, brother. Dude, I wanted to say this earlier. Whoever makes the videos, because every year there's a video of what's different in Madden. Oh, the tackling's different. Oh, the AI's different.
That guy
they should write political speeches. They should write political speeches because they're all BS. It's full of BS. That's all it is. You played the games. Is Madden 24 any different than 23? Maybe slightly. Not enough for a 20-minute demo video of why it's different. I promise you that. Not even college football and Madden are that different that needs that. Whoever writes these videos needs to write political speeches. It's all BS, dude.
Yeah. It's worth noting that, like, a lot of where Madden went wrong was in trying to make things new, in my opinion. I am a longtime Madden player. Was a Madden competitive online player. I had games where, pat myself on the back. Woohoo, congrats. I was playing it enough to where there would be weeks at a time where I was a top 1,000 Madden player in the world. Doesn't sound that whatever, but there's millions of people playing.
That's impressive.
Bro. Yeah,
that's impressive.
There was a couple of years where that was the case for weeks, right? Because there's ranks, whatever. Not anymore. I'm not that good anymore. I'm actually pretty bad now. But I'm bringing that up to say, oh my God, what have they done? Look what they've done to my boy. Look what they've done to my boy. It's awful now, dude. It's all Madden Ultimate Team is all they care about. If you play Ultimate Team, congratulations, you're the target audience now. Like, you're who they care about.
Pay money for old players, right, to build a team. So people are literally investing like hundreds at least of dollars into these things, I think.
Let's put it this way. I was in 8th grade when I discovered Madden Ultimate Team through my father, who played it, right? I did not have a job in the 8th grade, as most 8th graders don't. And I had over $100 into my account then, thanks to my father. And that was, it was new to me. It was his second or third year playing. It was big.
11 months, and the next one comes out.
Dude.
So stupid.
That was like nothing compared to what people do.
Oh, for sure.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And what kills me is like the game will come out. People will dump thousands into it the first weekend. It's for like 85 overall players, bro. By the end of the year, there's going to be 99 overalls in every position. Maybe not as much these days. I don't think they do that as much these days. But the bottom line for that is you're doing it all for them to reset it every year. What are you doing?
So stupid. You have to be perhaps the dumbest people in the video game community. The ones that spend hundreds of dollars per
gamblers.
year.
That's what it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's legal
You're spending hundreds of dollars into a game that in 11 months is going to be literally
away.
Worthless.
If they hit the reset button on Pokemon Go, I'm uninstalling and never looking back. I'm not. I have a day one account, bro. Day one of the game. Okay? I'm not looking back. I did it for like 2 years where it was like I played my first Madden Ultimate Team and it was resetting it. And it was kind of exciting. It's like, oh, it's going to be different. Like, we're all even playing field again, whatever. And then a couple weeks in, it was like, it's not as fun. Mm-hmm. By the next year, I didn't play Ultimate Team anymore. I got back into it a few years later. I did unfortunately spend probably between $40 to $60 on it total. So about the copy of another game. Still nothing compared to some of these people.
Right.
And even then I'm like, there's just going to be better stuff that comes out later in the season, and then they're going to reset it next year. I'm good.
Who plays it either? Like that's like the definition of what I hate. Let me log on to this game where if this guy has spent $300, he's going to beat me. He's going to beat me unless I'm that good. I'm not playing. That's bull. I'm not playing that. That's not fun. You suck. If you play Ultimate, you suck. I hate you. If you play an Ultimate Team.
It's fun when it's done well. And like if they're pairing you with people who like have equal, I think your overall matters in terms of who they pair you up with.
Okay.
At least they used to.
If there's quote unquote skill based matchmaking to a degree, that erases what I just said.
There is.
But
I loved it back in the day. Now I have OCD. I don't think I had it back then, or it wasn't fully prominent back then anyways. I definitely would have had it and it wasn't as bad. Earlier I saw Ray Lewis running back an interception for Ohio State.
Cool.
That didn't happen. I'll tell you that right now.
Here comes Dan Marino for the
old Dan Marino playing for WVU,
for Marshall.
Right?
Yeah.
My dad is playing college ultimate team right now. You just roasted my father without even realizing it. He has an Ohio State player on his team. I'm like, what are you doing with an Ohio State player on your team, my guy? That's one thing in Madden, where they're at least for an NFL team, and they went to Ohio State. Who cares about that? On college, he says Ohio State on the card, and he's wearing Ohio State stuff. I'm good, bro. I don't want you on my team. And that goes for the other schools. So I want the all Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Texas team. No, I don't. I want to play as Michigan. I want to play as Texas State. Darn it. Go Bobcats, I guess. Go Bobcats. And I would have got to Marshall eventually, but I uninstalled.
Yep.
So, the one leg to stand on that for me is the old ones. That's it. What were we saying? Okay. Say it again.
That's fair. Like I don't know from experience, but I know from what I've heard that those were good.
I'm on year 7 or 8 of a Madden 2004 franchise, where I'm not even importing draft classes. It's the same base 2004 roster. That's cool. I go through team by team, and I for a while would keep up and be like, all right, well, this person's gone, and then you know, they went to this team, and it's wild, dude. Imagine 7 years of all those changes.
Yeah.
Unrecognizable. 7 or 8 is what I'm on. Year 7 or year 8. That's a blast. And that's all in my head, keeping up with it, right? Because it's all crazy. So I've got so many memories with these games. And NCAA 06. I'll get the itch to play NCAA 06. Matter of fact, I told you somebody took NCAA 06 and put last year's rosters on it and updated all the uniforms and all the stadiums and all the graphics. But it plays and looks like NCAA 06. I'm like, oh my God, this is the best game I've ever seen.
That's great. Yeah.
I'll get the itch to play that in a few weeks when college football is back, baby.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir.
I don't know that I'll come back to college football 25. I'm probably done. Sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Moving on. We got a couple more to get through here, and then we got to get to our leasts. But I'll be brief on this one. You might be brief on the last one. So.
Yep. Yeah, I think we got ones that I'm not going to speak much on, and one that you're not going to speak on. So.
Yep. So you go.
Minecraft, baby. I have long said there are 2 games that at this point I have played for 10 years plus that I will for the rest of my life play no matter what. One of them is Rocket League. No matter how bad the game is, I have played the game for 10 plus years. I will always play the game. The other is Minecraft. It's just, you can do what you want. And they got all the mods and the skins and the different modes you can do now. They got player versus player on there if you want to get in there and beat other people. If you don't want that, play by yourself. And invite your friends on a world and do fun challenges together. Literally last week, me and my buddies were playing one where we only had one chunk, which is like 16 by 16 blocks. It's tiny. That's where you live. And whoever wins the game first is the winner. It's fun.
What game? Kill each other?
No, it was I don't want to say cooperative.
Beats the Ender Dragon?
Yeah, it's like whoever beats the game first, quote unquote, wins. But you can't leave your chunk. So it's like a challenge or whatever. It's pointless, but it's fun. You can do whatever you want. Sure. I think it's great. It's relaxing a lot. It's just you kind of zone out. It's fun. I like Minecraft.
I'm going to pass on the opportunity to talk more about Minecraft because I don't want to turn this into a 90-minute special episode. I don't like Minecraft. I've played it a little bit. It's not for me. I'm going to end it there.
That's fair. I'll almost wrap that up exactly with my next take. Zelda. I've played it a little bit. I've not played it nearly enough, like I imagine you haven't, about Minecraft. I haven't played Zelda nearly enough to
I have at least 8 to 10 hours on Minecraft. That's enough time to know. We're not doing this. I'll shut up.
I haven't played Zelda enough to say, it's not really my thing. Well, maybe I have. But I haven't played it enough to hate on it. How about that? I don't hate on Zelda. I know it won't be my choice here. I promise it won't. It doesn't hold a candle. It doesn't have a shot at making my top 5 here. It doesn't.
Okay.
Good.
I love Zelda. It's a great franchise. One of the cornerstones of Nintendo, made by who I call the father of Nintendo, even though he didn't create the company or anything. Shigeru Miyamoto. Same as Mario and Luigi. I don't know, I even included Luigi there. Love you, Luigi, I guess, because normally you just say same as Mario. Mario and Luigi. Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
He made Mario. He also made Luigi. Did you know Luigi is named Luigi because they needed another Italian name with exactly 5 characters, and that is the first one they came up with? Fun fact.
I did not know that.
That is exactly why. They needed a player 2. It needed to fit where it says Mario at the top and that one, but they had those 5 characters programmed in, so it was it's got to be in these 5 characters. That was the next Italian male name they came up with, was Luigi.
That's fair.
That's exactly all it was.
Fair.
Yeah. I love Zelda. 2D and 3D Zeldas are both great. You can dump 10 hours into a playthrough of a Zelda game and beat a lot of them. There are a lot of them like Ocarina of Time once you get into the more recent ones, which it's not even recent anymore. It's 27 or 8 years old. There's a lot of them like that where they're 40-hour playthroughs minimum. And as I get older, I'm I don't have the time for Zelda. I just don't. Because I cannot pick up a Zelda game, put it down for 2.5 weeks if life isn't complying, pick it back up. Where am I? What's going on? Am I literally mid-dungeon? Because that could happen. Now I'm really screwed. I might as well just walk back out and walk back in. To the beginning. And just hope that I can remember it all. So, one minor complaint with Zelda, which does have a very, very real chance of making my top 5 still, because some of my favorite Nintendo games of all time are Zelda games, and if you know me, you know my favorite video games are almost all Nintendo games. One grief I would give it. I don't love how much you have to invest to play a Zelda game anymore. They've got one coming out where Zelda is the protagonist, by the way, and Link is getting saved. Which is interesting.
The Legend of Link.
It's interesting. They're not calling it that, are they? Zelda.
I don't think so. That was the meme. The meme with The Legend of Link.
That'd be funny if they did do that now. It's what do you... Yeah, to kind of point out how dumb it is that, it's called Zelda, but...
The Legend of Peach, and it's all about Mario. No.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, huh? I've always wondered that. I don't know. And now so many people call them Zelda. Someone made a... Dude, it's so funny. I can't even remember what it was. Someone made a big joke in YouTube comments of the trailer or something that went viral, making a play on the fact that so many people call Link Zelda because they don't know. Yeah. It'd be boomers at this point doing that. All of this to say, that one looks like it won't be as intensive or demanding. Maybe it's worth going into. Breath of the Wild, if you're not given 60 hours on your first playthrough, it's not worth it. I imagine the same is true for Tears of the Kingdom. So, they're flawless games. They're phenomenal. They're so engrossing. You can get so invested in them. And so, even though I've not been big on the modern Zelda train for a minute because of the demands that go into it time-wise, it still might make my top 5, bro. It might. So that wraps up our 10 franchises. Now we're going to have to try to eloquently and efficiently make a top 5 list each of 5 we're keeping. And I have an idea that we should do just to really, make the stakes higher, in my opinion. Not only should we have, people tell us which list they think is better at HeadacheSpot on Twitter or in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. But to make the stakes higher for each of us as we go, you got to say who barely missed the cut too. Who's your 6th?
Okay.
The best
I'm
of
trying to think
the worst.
I've got
go,
4.
Let's draft style this. Let's go 1 through 5. If
As
you're
in
willing
first
to.
overall pick?
But obviously, when you take it doesn't go off of my board.
Right. But you want me to put the one that I'm most certain of first?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's how we should do this. I'm gonna type it out for myself. Because I don't know at the moment. I know my number 1, but that's all I know, bro.
All of a sudden threw this on. I only had 4 when you said that.
But you've got 4. But you've got 4. You don't have to rank them necessarily. Just, as you know them, say them. Do you want to give your first one, or do you want me to give my first one? Because my first one is pretty obvious, pal.
Yeah. Go ahead and give Pokemon as your first overall
Pokemon's
pick.
my number 1. I don't think... I'll go a cool 6 to 8 months without playing Pokemon sometimes. I could not go the rest of my life without playing a single Pokemon game ever, bro. No way. It's my number 1. One franchise until I die. It's got to have that in the title or you can't play it. Give me Pokemon. Give it to me all day. So that's another, I guess, game you could play. Give me one franchise until you die. It's Pokemon, pal.
Yeah.
Who's your number 1, my guy? While I think of my number 2.
It's between 2, and I don't think either one's a big surprise. I probably will go... Oh, God. I'm going to go 3D Mario for my first overall pick. I'm going to take 3D.
I love that pick, bro. I love that pick.
I think 3D... Oh, I think it barely edges out, spoiler alert, 2D Mario. I think those are some of the best games ever. I really do. And I think 3 is just a little bit more, groundbreaking. They're a little bit more different. Every 3D game is... pretty different, I think. So,
yeah, I think I'm gonna just barely change it up on you, but also do the same thing you do. I'm gonna give you my number 2 and number 3. You just give me your number 1 and number 2. Because they're the same, just in different order. I'm gonna go 2D first. Because come on, if nothing else, you've got Mario Maker. So it's never going to get boring until they shut down the servers.
Yeah,
but I've always gravitated more to the 2D games. I played them more as a kid. I've played Mario 1 50 times through at least. Mario 3 is infinitely replayable in my mind. Maybe one day I'll like Super Mario World. Who knows? 2D Mario is my easy number 2. And because you also kind of did the same thing, I'll go ahead and, for the sake of time, mention 2 was 2 and 3 is 3. 3D Mario is my number 3 for sure. I could not go the rest of my life without these games, bro. If I could at all avoid it, especially now over stuff like Madden. Come on, man. All Madden does is disappoint me now these days. Minecraft, I don't like. Call of Duty, I don't care about anymore. Can't hold a candle to a good 3D Mario game. And I'm still going to say, I still feel this way. Super Mario 64 alone, if I were to cross out 3D Mario and just say Super Mario 64, one of my Desert Island video games, I'm still confident in putting it at least 3rd. Okay. I probably am. I love that game.
Okay.
You go. So who's your third? I've listed 3. Who's your number 3?
My 3 is like where I'm like, because now we're drafting like quote unquote like in order.
You
my
said you
3,
had 4 though, so like just
I
give
had
me
4.
your 3 and your 4, and
my 4 is my 4. My 4 is in the 4th easily.
Yeah.
It might be my 5th, but this next one, dude, I kind of want to be different and grab like, oh really? Like you're gonna pick that because it's for life. We're saying we can only play these. Oh god, dude.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna go.
Don't do it here.
I am going to go.
Don't do it here. Don't.
I might do it, dude.
Don't you dare.
I'm gonna go Mario Parties.
Thank God.
Give me the Mario Parties, pal. They are different enough. DS alone is great. I freaking love.
That's like the
Mario
one
Party
that's
DS.
mostly single player though, unless you have 4 DSs.
Yeah. It is great. There's so many different things. I now have, by selecting the Mario Parties, I now have probably 2,000 mini games at my disposal to play for the rest of my life. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's
Infinite
fine.
hours, you have people over all day, bro.
Yep.
So I don't think I think that's fair. I don't think you like took too much into consideration the whole rest of your life thing. Like, I think these games have value, bro. Mm-hmm. I've probably played Mario Party, specifically Superstars. It's going to be my top 5 most played games of the year because anytime I go visit some of my friends, we play it. At least one 20-turn game a night while we're there. Sometimes 2.
It's fun.
Bro.
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. That being said, it's my turn, I guess, to list my number 4, and I don't currently know what my number 4 is. I'm kind of stuck because it's like, God, now like it is really starting to feel like, man, those first 3 I'm really confident in. 4, truthfully speaking, though, like starting from here, it's kind of like, kind of just having fun at this point. Like I've got my 3. We nailed our draft picks. 4, which Mario Party was your 3, which is crazy, my guy. But you're not a Pokemon fan, so it's never gonna make your top 5.
That's not gonna be in there, yeah.
God. I hate to do it, but God, I think I'm gonna do it. I might have the biggest loser list ever, dude. I think I'm gonna go Mario Kart 3rd, dude. The 4th, I guess 4th.
Wow.
I think I'm putting it 4th, dude. Just on the weight of Mario Kart 8 alone. I made a great argument, which is Mario Kart 8 is great. The other ones aren't that good, and all of these franchises are wealths of libraries of great games. And I don't think the Mario Kart older games are all that great. The ones that a lot of people are really super nostalgic for, I don't think they're that great. But I'm putting it here anyways, off the weight of 8. The weight of it.
Crazy, because that was my thing between Kart and Party. The weight of 8. I just think Party is so much more replayable than Kart.
It is.
Mario.
It is for sure.
That's
Party needs 4. Party needs 4. Mario Kart can be played solo.
4. Me and you like to have 4 because we don't want to lose to BS computers cheating. Most people couldn't care about that, I don't think.
I mean, without 4, you're either putting the computer on the hardest difficulty or you're making them a non-factor. Let's really call it what it is. They're either going to BS me or they're a non-factor. Which one is it? And neither one is that fun. And then they mess up the mini games. You get the 2v2 and the AI is god-awful even on the hardest difficulty. Or you and the person you're in real life with are against the 2 godly AI, and all of a sudden they sucked when they were your partner last time, but now all of a sudden they are min-maxing this whole thing and setting the world record. I'm not playing Mario Party with computers if I can absolutely avoid it at all. Just my opinion. That being said, Mario Kart, I can play solo, and I love playing a 2-player with my wife. So
that's fine. For my 4, baby, I'm picking between 2 here. I'm pretty solid in this pick. I'm gonna take Call of Duty. Just
whoa!
It
makes you top 5, 4th.
The backlog of the recent stretch is kind of bad. From Black Ops, a lot of people say Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. Ghost was good. Like there was a stretch of about 10. There was a stretch of about 10 years where Call of Duty was, in my opinion, the best video game there was.
Modern Warfare 2 through Ghost is widely considered the first bad one. If you liked Ghosts, you probably considered Advanced Warfare the first bad one. I liked Advanced Warfare too. I didn't like Infinite Warfare, which was after Advanced Warfare. That's when I thought that one sucked.
Yeah.
So
and it started getting bad.
8 years, dude.
But there for a while when people would camp outside of GameStops for them to.
Have I told you about these? I was number one in line for years, dude. Like 3 or 4 consecutive years. I'd get off school. My dad would drop me and my older brother or me and my younger sister off in front of GameStop, and we'd camp from like 4 p.m. on till midnight, and it was mostly just for him. If nothing else, it wasn't even really for me. Child labor, but it was a blast. And especially once I got into it, it was like, oh yeah, dude, let's go, let's do it, you know? Yeah, dude.
Do you Call of Duty at my 4? Do you have your 5? Because I got mine.
I do, but I mean, God, I feel like a freaking tool bag, Scott. I feel like a tool bag, Scott.
Don't go Mario again.
I feel like a tool bag,
You're
Scott.
Nintendoing out. You're Nintendoing out, pal.
Oh,
all 5?
If it's not Mario, it's Zelda. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not putting Madden here. Like, I've played so much Madden to where the ones of any value to me today are the old ones, which, like I said, I'm on year 7 or 8 of Madden 04 of the same, like, ongoing thing. If I didn't play it again anymore, I'd probably be okay, you know? So it's a toughie, man. This is all just for, fun at this point.
Give me Mario Party.
God, I feel like a loser, dude. Wow. Doing it, though. Give me Mario Party. Give me Mario Party. My list, I am the number 1 Nintendo lover in the world.
You are, pal. And to make mine not the number 1 Nintendo list in the world, number 5, Minecraft.
I knew it was... Dude, I was so hoping it wouldn't make your top 5. I was about to give you the biggest props ever if you didn't put that freaking neckbeard Roblox game into your top 5. I was just thinking, it's the one game that doesn't even belong on this list. Because we mentioned beforehand, I said Fortnite didn't make this list, huh? And you and I have definitely played Fortnite more than you've played Madden, than either of us have played Mortal Kombat, than you've played Pokemon. More than I've played Zelda, even, I would say. I've like a cool 400 hours into Fortnite, probably, if not more. Mm-hmm. And so we were like, oh, well, it makes sense. These are all like franchise games. Minecraft's the only thing on here that's not a franchise game, and I was just thinking, like, I'm happy he might not put it on there. If you search video game
franchises, it'll pop up. It's a franchise.
It's a franchise in that they sell toys, and they're super successful on YouTube, and
it's not a franchise in this specific way.
But, like, they don't make this. That's the only thing on here without multiple games, man. It's not a big deal. If we made the list, no one would be mad at myself for not saying this sooner. I was just going to give you props for not putting in your top 5.
It's in there, buddy.
Like elite top 5, but then you did it.
You can do whatever you want. It is infinite. Talk about replayability. That's the beauty
of the headaches and hot takes, sir.
Talk about replayability. It's infinite. Infinite.
Unless you have problems like I do.
I guess.
It doesn't click to me, bro. I'm not getting into it. I don't get Minecraft. That's a really good top 5. I think you have a very popular top 5. I think if we're asking the listeners to say who had the better top 5, I'm going to get waxed. Because I literally went Pokemon and Mario 4 times. Okay?
Yeah, but you got Pokemon in there. That's obviously would attract a lot of attention. I think me having Call of Duty and or Minecraft, like some people are like, oh, Minecraft, and some people like hate Minecraft so much they're like, oh, Minecraft, I'll vote for the other option, like, and you suck. Like,
that's true.
If it's not for you, fine. Don't be like, oh, Minecraft, and vote for the other option. That's stupid.
I made my list, and I'm still looking at your list and saying, like, critically speaking, your list is probably better. So, like, that's one thing I think I'm good at.
That goes both ways. I don't like Pokemon. I'm not going to see that guy drafted Pokemon first overall. Other list. No. Yeah. Take them for what they are. Dude. Take the whole thing in.
So
there you go, pal. We'll make a nice little graphic and put those out, and people can see.
Who was your first game out, if you're able to say?
First game out meaning like they barely missed, or is like they're the farthest thing for me?
Yes, sir.
Probably Mortal Kombat and Injustice.
I think mine would be Madden or college football, bro. I don't think it would be Zelda. I think Zelda would be like 7th out of 10 on these lists for me. So I think I could even go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would say 6 is Madden / college football, 7 is Zelda, 8 is Call of Duty, 9 is Mortal Kombat / Injustice, 10 is Minecraft. Not gonna ask you to do the same, but I could easily say that for my last 5.
Yeah.
So
I sent it to you because I want these for reference, obviously, and I included my runner-up. I included my honorable mention of Mortal Kombat / Injustice would be probably in my 6th slot. That was the one I said, I'm deciding, and there it goes.
Boom, there you go. Here's mine.
Boom.
So
nice.
If you're listening at home and you easily were able to keep up and give us a top 5, and also if you made it this far in the episode, god dang, what a lengthy episode. We appreciate you. We love you. Let us know at HeadacheSpot on Twitter. If you had to keep 5 of these games for life, which 5 are you keeping? Which 5 are you cutting? I would love to hear from you. The Herniator would love to hear from you. But anything else from the Herniator today, sir?
Peace and suck it, Boston.
Hooday. Suck it, Boston always.